All right, good morning, everyone. It is March 31st, so today is the USDA Quarterly Stocks and Prospective Plannings Report Day. This is one of our most important USDA reports every year. It certainly has the ability to dramatically affect values of both old crop and as yet to be planted new crop prices. 2021 report has done just that, causing a major move higher in both the corn and soybean markets today. Before we get into this year's numbers, let's take a quick look at some past year's data. All right, so a couple of charts here just showing the volatility that has come from the March 31st planning and stocks reports. You can see that in the last 10-12 years, there's been a lot more volatility in the last 10 or 12 years than in the 10-20 years preceding that. On average, in the last 10 to 12 years, there's been about 20 cents average move in corn. There were limit moves in 11, 12, and 13. With soybeans in the last 10, 12 years, the average has been close to 25 cents. And there was a limit move back in 08. So certainly some volatility that can be seen from this report as of late. Looking back at what USDA versus the average trade guess for stocks on hand, March corn and soybeans, generally the trade guess has overestimated both corn and beans. The bars going below the zero line, that's when the USDA number comes in less than the average trade guess. Average trade guess is overestimating quarterly stocks. So you can see there's been more years where we have where the trade guess has overestimated than under. As far as planting acreage, 10 of the last 21 years, the average trade guess for intended corn acres have been overestimated. 10 of the last 21 have been underestimated. You can see that in 2013, it was spot on, neither over nor under. As a general rule, when the average trade guess is overestimated, it's overestimated by probably 1.5 million acres. When it's underestimated, it's more like 2 million. In beans, 9 of the last 21 years have been underestimated. 12 of the last 21 have been overestimated. 10 of the last 12 have been overestimated. And we miss it by about 1.5 million when we overestimate. As we'll see when we get into this year's numbers, that is where the big changes came this year. It's been in the acreage side. So here is today's report. We can see that the average trade guess for corn, 7.767 billion bushels of corn was the stocks estimate, 1.543 billion bushels of beans. And we can see that corn was overestimated by the trade, but only slightly. Soybeans, the opposite, slightly underestimated. Those are close enough numbers. They really haven't affected today's market. The big moves that we've seen today have been driven by the prospective plantings. Badly missed the corn and soybean acres, wheat as well. The trade guess was 2.1 million acres too high versus what USDA is reporting today. And on beans, 2.3 million acres too high. So this is what is driving the market. It's been a big move today. Megan, what are we seeing right now?
Currently, we're lock limit up from the July 21 clear out to the July of 22. And actually, I went to go trade some, and they said not to trade the September of 22 because it's very thin, not a whole lot of movement happening there. So to trade, when I go to hedge us, we need to hedge in December of 22. Beans are similar. We're lock limit from May of 21, clear out to the July of 22.
Okay.
So in both of those numbers, we've seen a few days in the last 10 years where we've had 3 or 4 months lock limit up. We probably haven't seen this many months be lock limit higher since the days of 08 when the ethanol boom was going on.
Yeah, so to say that we've seen a major market move today, absolutely that would be the case. What's going to be interesting is to see, we'll be going to the field shortly, anhydrous applications are beginning in the last couple of days. I think there's dry and liquid fertilizer applications that are starting up for first co-op today, I believe. So, we're gonna start seeing some field activity. Things have really dried out with the wind that we've seen over the last 3 days. We've got some warmer weather going into the Easter holiday that's going to help get things ready. So we're going to be moving towards that planting season. We've got a couple of maps here to show state by state. Here is the USDA numbers as they have been reported today. Iowa is a 13.2 million acre corn crop being planted is USDA's estimate. That is a 400 million acre reduction from what we planted in 2020. I'm a little surprised at that myself. I would not have expected Iowa to show as much movement on acreage. I was anticipating if there was going to be acres switch from corn to soybeans, I was anticipating it to be heavier than what it is showing, through some of these more southern states. The bean map is showing that Iowa's, of course, again, gaining that 400 million acres, increasing to 9.8 million acres. Overall, this is a 5.44% increase in the national acres for soybeans. It's been talked that, we needed as much as a 7 million acre increase in order to try to keep the balance sheet for soybeans in order and not see even tighter ending stocks for the 2021 marketing year. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We're really not going to get a new look at acreage again until we're done putting the crop in and we get the June planted acreage report. That'll be, very curious, or I'll be real interested to see how true these numbers bear out, or do we find in that June report that there is a lot of acres that were unaccounted for by USDA today. As we move to this planting season, just looking at some forward forecast, monthly forecasts, April, I would anticipate right now some of the national weather services that we are looking at, April and May both look to be good for planting, a little above normal on temps, normal to slightly below normal on precip. It should give us ample opportunity to get the crop in good order, similar to last year. That probably will raise some concerns that we definitely are still a little on the dry side. We need more soil moisture than what we have right now. So we're going to need to see some beneficial and timely rains as we get this crop in and move into the summer months. So any other thoughts?
I'm interested to see what that wheat number does in that June report. They were higher 3 million acres, but with that cold snap we had in February, I'm interested to see what the winter kill ends up being there and where those acres go.
Right, and so there's the chance that maybe down here in Kansas we can see a bean acre increase if we've had a lot of winter kill on some of that wheat down there. Yes,
even Oklahoma and Texas. Yeah,
Kentucky, Tennessee, certainly plenty of wheat acres there potentially that maybe were damaged in the major cold snap that happened back in February. So Doug or Jim, any thoughts from what you've seen, or any reactions to this morning's numbers?
Yes, I would just say it looks like there's with the forecast, as you said, Wayne, looks like at least for Northwest Iowa, I think we get a good chance of getting a crop in. Be interesting to see, will we meet in or exceed these acres come June. We'll find out at that time. But Yeah, I think something makes it fun to watch. Looks like beans have some rationing to do yet, in my opinion. So we'll see how that all shakes out as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with Jim. You know, from now on, we're going to be trading basically a weather market and a planning progress market. Be interesting to see where the feed demand goes also.
Yeah, we hadn't touched on that, but you know, one thing of concern yet is the lower level of animals on feed that we're going to be having to deal with. You hear anecdotally that there's an awful lot of hog spaces that are not just don't have any pigs in them right now, you know, which is all still fallout from all of the issues that we had through 2020. So I guess this is kind of the wrap on our analysis of the March 2021 stocks and acreage and acreage intention report. We certainly appreciate everyone's business here through First Co-op, and look forward to working with you in your marketing plans going forward. Don't be afraid to give us a ring, and we can talk markets and see where this goes. We'll see how long this rally lasts with today's report numbers. Look forward to servicing you going forward. Thanks, everyone.